This chemical is venomous agent X, more commonly known as VX nerve agent. It is a very strong nerve agent chemical in the organophosphate family of chemicals, and it was chemically synthesized to use as a chemical weapon. It's a pretty non-volatile chemical, which means it doesn't aerosolize easily, so it doesn't have a super high risk of being accidentally inhaled, and it does persist in the environment for quite a while because it doesn't react and disperse easily. And while it's not considered to be volatile or at a super big inhalation risk, if it's directly applied or directly getting into the airways, it is very bad, but most of the time it's dangerous due to absorption through skin or other membranes. It is very potent, way more potent than sarin or tear gas or any other of those pretty toxic compounds that I've talked about before. The LD50, or the lethal dose for about half the population, is 0.14 milligram per kilogram of body weight, which is not a lot. So due to it being not very volatile, the danger of it comes through direct exposure, either directly inhaled or through the skin, like I mentioned. And it is a nerve agent, so it messes with your nerve signals being sent to your muscles, and it just basically stops all of your nerve signals so you can no longer control your muscle. Now, unlike some other nerve agent chemicals, it causes flaccid paralysis, which means you cannot move your muscles. It's just kind of limp and floppy, and you cannot do anything with it. So for all of your muscles, including your heart and respiratory muscles, so most of the times the cause of death is through asphyxiation, meaning you cannot breathe. And like other nerve agents, it is classified as an acetylcholine esterase inhibitor, which means it blocks the enzyme acetylcholine esterase, which is responsible for degrading acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter, so with the enzyme that degrades it inhibited, it means that there is way more acetylcholine in the body than there should be, so it causes overstimulation of the muscles, which eventually causes them to fatigue and paralyze and not be able to move anymore. This does also result in some very painful contractions initially because all of your acetylcholine is constantly overstimulating the muscles, causing them to contract, but then at some point the muscles get too fatigued and they no longer can contract, and they just kind of, So the main cause of death is respiratory failure and death by asphyxiation because it causes your diaphragm to stop functioning as a diaphragm so you can no longer breathe. So this is a very bad chemical, and it's very illegal, and it's pretty much a war crime to do anything with. So yeah, very cool though.